Well, Obama, who is my basically favorite president, but he was not very helpful as far as like he never did my show when he did every other show.
Why not?
I had to go on the air and beg him on my 60th birthday in his 8th year in office and shame him into it, basically.
He did.
And he finally did. But, you know, it was at the White House. It was in the interview room. It wasn't fun.
It wasn't a real...
Yeah, it wasn't in front of an audience. I mean, it could have been fun and funny if he came and did my show in the studio like he did many other shows.
A speaker that was at the Trump rally, he said that Puerto Rico was a pile of garbage. These are human beings.
Was that Adam Ray?
No, that's Obama.
Oh, it is?
A speaker that was at the Trump rally, he was talking about Puerto Rico as a pile of garbage.
Dude, the simple fact that Obama's talking about Tony Hinchcliffe is crazy.
Bro, Obama's doing a Tony Hinchcliffe bit.
But he must have had someone around him saying, you know, I'm a very dangerous person, Louis. That's the thing. I'm a dangerous person who nobody can trust because I might tell the truth about something or ask a hard question.
Interesting.
So, you know, they avoided me for all that time. So you're right. And I said that in the piece when I did it about, you know, I know liberals, again, they don't like the truth, but that's the truth.
I wanted to talk, Marlon, a bit about, you know, just so proud of how you are being a role model for dealing with a child that's transgender.
Absolutely.
And that's, you know, that warms my heart, particularly as a Black man. You know, would you care to share that journey of...
Well, I was at a family barbecue.
Look, I grew up in the middle class. My mother, you know, worked hard, raised me and my sister. And
Apologize.
It's like, as far as like just feeling free to just speak exactly how I feel, yes, I felt freer to do that with Trump than Obama or Clinton. Moving Israel's embassy to Jerusalem, loved it. The border did need to be controlled. I'm glad the cops are getting their morale back. DEI had gone too far. Biological men shouldn't be playing women's sports. Europe should pay for their defense. And of course, it makes sense that Arab countries should take in Arab refugees, like the million Syrians who wound up in Germany when Saudi Arabia took none. He said to me, "You're right, they took none." I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. That's just how it went down.
You think Trump
and that's emblematic of the way the two parties have kind of switched as far as which one has the stick up their ass. Now, this doesn't say that the Democrats don't have better policy ideas. They do. But just on that level, and people vote on this level all the time, like it used to be when I started in the 90s on that show, Politically Incorrect, it was always the Pat Robertsons and the you know, the Reagans and these kind of people who had the stick up their ass, the moral majority and the Jerry Falwells. And then it switched, and the people with the stick up their ass became the left.
Question for you, good sir. Why are you a conservative, sir?
Well, I used to be a Democrat, but unfortunately the Democrats went too far to the left, and the Republicans moved into their position that the Democrats were 40 years ago. See? And so what the Democrats believed 40 years ago, the Republicans believe today. And so I realized that I had to go to a Republican because the Democrats just got too far off the trail. They just got completely off the trail and lost all reality of what America stood for. And so I realized that Republicans at this point in time are more focused on what is best for America than what the Democrats are.
They're the ones who were the police on language and the police on how dare you not.
Is it safe to say that you never really know if any of your friends are truly your friends until you need something from them or you ask a favor of them? Or was Bill Maher just wrong all along and Barack Obama wasn't his friend? I mean, why do you think Barack turned him down over every other show that he did while he was president for 2 terms? I mean, sometimes you come to a point in your life where, if you eventually wake up, you find yourself in a situation you didn't think that you would be in. People truly reveal to you who they really are, and you say, huh. And that's when a light bulb goes off. That's when President Trump invites you to the White House and you have a conversation with him. You make jokes, you laugh, and you crack up with him and realize, this is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But why did I think that? Oh, perhaps maybe because the left has been brainwashing you. The media has been filling your head full of false, fake news, propaganda. Their rhetoric to suit and serve their own agenda. Maybe that's what happened. Your producers, your script writers were all feeding you these lines, these talking points about a guy that you knew nothing about. And then you actually get a chance to sit down and meet him and you realize, maybe Chuck Norris was right. Egats! It's not just Bill Maher. Hell, it's me. Granted, not Trump. I mean, I would say that I didn't know a lot about politics years ago. And when Trump first ran for president and the whole Make America Great Again MAGA hat came out, it felt a certain kind of way. But I just wasn't invested. I wasn't. I was focused on something completely different. Actually, I'm still focused on it now. And that's pretty much going to hold true no matter what. I mean, even if the election results had gone the other way, my focus would still be in the same place that it is now. But I'm not going to bore you guys with that chat and that conversation here. But I will say this. We are witnessing a wake-up call, an epiphany, perhaps, maybe, of sorts. And Bill Maher is just one of many who will soon turn their backs on the Democrats. Bill Maher, Stephen A. Smith, Chuck Norris, you name it. Maybe they don't go as far as to say they're Republican. Maybe they don't go as far as to say they are a Trump supporter, MAGA. But they will say, man, Donald J. Trump, he's a good man. And he's doing great things. Not only is he risking life and limb for this country, he's putting his money where his mouth is.
President Trump greeting supporters at an RNC fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago, showing us the main ballroom at his private club and sharing new details about the one he plans to build at the White House.
We are going to make and build a ballroom, which they've wanted for probably 100 years at the White House. And it'll be a world-class, beautiful ballroom.
A ballroom that could cost millions of dollars. He says he will pay for it himself. You will fund it.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask the government for money. I'll fund it, and I'm sure we'll have some donations to it.
Yeah, Jasmine Crockett can sit there on her high horse and, in a ghetto fabulous way, try and make it seem like President Trump is defrauding the American people by playing golf and spending millions of dollars to do so. Taxpayer dollars. Believe half of what you see, none of what you hear. What will her response be after he completes the construction of a ballroom in the White House that is long overdue, that he's going to pay for out of his own pocket? I can't wait to hear how the left and these Democrats and these libtards are going to try to spin that one to make it seem like a bad thing. But even better off is in the future, perhaps maybe, tables turn, Democrats wind up back in the White House and they shut off that wing of the White House because Trump built that. That's the ballroom Trump built. Can't use that. Petty, awful, terrible, childish, immature, wasteful, resentful, evil, deranged. Whatever word you choose to use to describe them, some will continue to fall off the deep end, continue to go down that route and that path, continue to drink that Kool-Aid, and continue to try to hold on to something that is fading fast. And then others, like Bill Maher, wake up.
Let's call them up. I go, no, we're not going to call them. No, you don't have it. No, I do have it. No, it's noontime. It's 3 o'clock. All right, I'll call them. Right, I hear Brock here, Mr. President. Yeah, Jay Leno. What can I do for you, Jay? I'm here with some friends of mine. Lose this number, Jay. Click.
Okay, so was he being serious or not?
Well, he's president of the United States. The idiot comedian calls you, you know. But it was funny. It was funny.
Maybe Obama is a jerk. Yeah. Of course he is. Maybe Obama's an asshole. Maybe he's a giant fucking piece of shit. Maybe he is gay. Maybe he is going to have marital problems. Maybe he is sleeping with Jennifer Aniston. Maybe Michelle Obama, he or she will divorce him.
You know, and so...
And you're all
you know,
about free
and
speech. Yeah.
Trump is a kind of, I'm sorry, but in person, he's definitely the kind of guy, you know, you just feel like you can say anything and you don't have to, like, censor it. And I didn't.
But maybe, just maybe, Kristen Welker will be the next one to come around and maybe have this podcast style discussion, or maybe just her own monologue of, I sat down with President Trump and he's all right.
Let's talk about the border. Let's talk about deportations. Border crossings are at their lowest level ever recorded. Is the border...
Is that good?
Is the border now secure?
Yeah, it's really secure.
It's absolutely
Isn't that good?
secure.
When you say that, doesn't that just sound good? After being abused for years by an incompetent president that allowed people to pour through an open border, criminals from all over the world, murderers and insane people from mental institutions and insane asylums. Isn't it a beautiful thing when you say it's the most secure it's ever been in the history of our country? Isn't that a nice statement?